Okay, so spoiler warning: if you've not watched the season finale to Supergirl, you may want to. I mean, like, get the fuck out of here. Go watch the season finale and then come back and join us, because when these fingers disappear, there's gonna be a flood of spoilers. So you better be gone. That's your warning. Now, I did like the opening. Or well, the first 10 minutes, what 5 or 10 minutes of this season finale. I liked how how it seems like Alex and Supergirl were gonna go at it for a little bit until she was snapped out of it by their mom, and then from there on Supergirl was on doing a live broadcast to everyone, and then her words snap everyone out of it. And what is a big fucking cop out, I call bullshit on this, is that Superman is still in a coma. Like, okay, you're talking about the same guy who took a blast from one of the villains that Supergirl was fighting and knocked her on her ass, and then when he blasts Superman, he's just standing up like that, when he saved her, like earlier on, like in one of the earlier episodes, and you're gonna tell me that this machine, or this little mind control machine, just took control of him like it was nothing, all because he thinks of himself as a human, and Supergirl embraces her Kryptonian heritage, and that's why she is impervious to this? Bullshit! But oh well, it is what it is. I mean, I don't agree with with how they wrote Superman in this season finale. I know like he's the type of character who wouldn't sit idly by and not be involved at all. But they could have done, they could have worked around this a bit better. Like where they say, well, where's Clark? He went. He went off to, there was something else going on, and then he had to go, or whatever. I mean, like, you don't just leave him laying there on, like in a coma or whatever the fuck that was. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, like, you snapped every human being out of it and everything and whatnot, and then he just stays in the coma? Really? Some fucking bullshit. But I know it sounds like I hated the season finale, but I actually didn't. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was gonna be much more intense than it was, but I still enjoyed the emotional scenes, and I liked how Supergirl was preparing herself, where she doesn't know if she will come out of this alive. Yeah, and when it finally gets down to the to the showdown, when it leads up to the showdown, you know what? Before I get to that, I mean, General Lane. He is such a prick. I mean, Martian Manhunter. He risked his life to, like to help Supergirl, and then it's like, oh, well, we gotta take you back into custody. I'm like, what the fuck, dick? Like, what the hell? I mean, like and then he is reluctant on letting him help Supergirl, like all because he's the Martian and he looks different than everybody else. And I get it. That's true. That's pretty much true to how, the humans treat the Martian Manhunter. At least in Justice League and a couple of other DC animated movies, they treated him. They treated him like shit just because he looked different than us, and they're not so I guess ratchet towards Superman because he looks like us. He may be this this powerful being that some people may be afraid of, but in the end he still looks like us, and that's why people are not really that intimidated by him. But Martian Manhunter is like, oh, whoa, shit, keep your kids away, hide your kids, hide your wife. Like, what the hell? But I like that how they stay true to that, but it was at that point where you're like, damn, the human race doesn't deserve to be called, like human. Like the way he was being treated for looking different, for being different from us. I mean, what the fuck? And and then all it takes is for him to put his life on the line again to earn his respect. I mean, you should have gotten his respect like at the beginning of this season finale, like for realsies. I mean, come on. I mean, honestly, but I'm glad that I'm glad that that General Lane was he grew a pair of balls, and then he's like, and he got his shit together. But before that, when everyone was saying like, Supergirl's gonna need all the help she can get, and then he said, okay, take the other cuff off the Martian. He said, that's okay, I got it. It just snaps the handcuff off. That's his way of saying, fuck you very much, General. I loved it, but it was pretty cool. I like the showdown between Supergirl and Non and Martian Manhunter and Indigo. I mean, whatever the fuck she's called. No, I call her Brainiac Girl. But anyway, and another thing that was a little weird when Supergirl put through the Fort Ross into space. I'm like, is it some kind of the effects because it's a prison that held her for so long? It's that it can is it because why she's unconscious because she's near that thing? I don't know, but I think that's her first experience in space. I think that's why she passed out. Maybe, I don't know, but I mean, there's a couple reasons why that happened, but yeah, I mean, she was like, what, this close to the yellow sun, like that? I mean, that should have supported her, like through, her trip in space, but I don't think she held her breath. I don't think. I think she was too focused on trying to get the Fort Ross as far away from Earth as possible, and that's probably why she was like, that's probably why she passed out and she didn't hold her breath like Kryptonians should have, where they can do that for a very long time. I'm guessing that's why, but no. And another thing, like, I think it's total fucking bullshit that Alex saved her in space and in her pod and Supergirl's pod. I'm like, bullshit. They could have easily thrown Superman in there, and then where you see two hands grab her, and then we see the cape flapping a little bit, and you see the S in the frame, and then you're like, oh, okay, it's Superman, okay. and that'll be it. But no, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad Alex saved her, but I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with them choosing Alex to jump in that pod and flying out there to save Supergirl. I just don't agree with that. How did she get a hold of her anyway in that pod? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, whatever. This is still a good season finale, though. But fast forward to the end. Or wait a minute. I like how they made one reference to the Supergirl movie with the Omega Hedron. I'm like, wow. I mean, as soon as they said Omega Hedron and then you see it, like for yourself. I'm like, wow. That's a nice reference to Supergirl, definitely. I'm glad that they paid homage to that. But I have no idea who the fuck was in that ship, in that pod. Like when it landed into Earth at the very end of the season finale. I'm like, huh? What? I don't know. Who do you think it was? And overall, I think this season finale gets 4 chair spins out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, baby. But and CBS still pissing around oh, Supergirl may not get season 2. Well, or where they said, oh, Supergirl is not on our list of shows that we've renewed yet. Like, what? I mean, I don't know. I mean, either I don't know. I have concerns now. I mean, first there was a headline that it's been approved for season 2, and then not too long after, some executive from CBS said, we have renewed a lot of shows, and Supergirl was not on that list. So this is gonna be really bad. You know, like if it's not renewed, and like CBS really, that'll be a really extremely big, probably the biggest mistake you ever made in your existence. Like seriously, but the door is still open for her since they had that Flash crossover. They can easily do an Earth One or Earth One of Supergirl. And the reason why no one saw her is because she kept herself hidden. She keeps herself isolated, much like how Clark did through like his early years. You know what I mean? Kind of like that, where she's afraid to use her powers and afraid to expose herself to the world. I mean, they can do a lot with that character since she's still a part of that universe in a way. So, yeah. So who do you think is in that spaceship? Let me know in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this review, thumb up the video. Make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.